Bad and Brandon.
Might have been you guys, yeah. And
Yeah.
he was just talking about how he went from being shit to really good, essentially.
Oh, good.
And it's simplest terms. Couldn't train that week, and then the following week he was like a superstar. So
Amazing.
I don't know what you got going in there, but it sounds incredible.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. So, welcome, Kristie, to the Platform Podcast. It is an absolute honor to have you on. As you know, we've been talking off air previously that we've been excited to get you on because what you guys do is just that little bit, I guess, unknown for the most part. Like we were talking about before, we don't know too much about drip IV.
Yeah. Well, happy to fill you in on everything.
Absolutely. So I guess the first question off the bat would be, tell us just a bit about obviously who yourself is and the company Drip IV.
Sure. So we were established in 2008. And, the reason that I started Drip IV, I had my own health battles. So I really struggled with glandular fever throughout my teenage years, which then developed into chronic fatigue in my adult life. And I already had businesses I was running, which, as you can imagine, chronic fatigue is very hard to being able to do life, really. It's quite debilitating.
Yeah.
So, so I would go to LA. That would be my spot to go when I go on holidays. And I kind of discovered the treatment over there. It's as common as going out to get a cup of coffee. It's very normal over there. So
Really?
yeah, it's huge. It's been around for a long time there.
Oh,
so
shit.
so I was there and I got probably about 4 weeks worth of treatments. And for the first time in, 10 years, I felt human again. So I thought this needs to be in Australia. People need to know about this. So I came back, I sold my business and really put everything I had into Drip IV. So, I really wanted to make it accessible for everyone, for people to know about the benefits, because in Australia, it's still so fairly new.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said you started this back in 2008.
2008, yeah. So we're coming up 4 years in October.
Wow. And what was your business before this? Was it a drastic change?
No, I've kind of always been in the cosmetic injecting skin field. So I was, I had a lot of contacts with doctors and nurses. So that made it an easier transition, but it was still quite difficult starting the business because it didn't really exist in Australia. We were kind of the first people to really do it on this scale. So there were a lot of loopholes and red tape and things to get over. So
absolutely. So I guess for our listeners, Drip IV, you provide IV bags with different variations of vitamins, minerals, and I think amino acids even, correct me if I'm wrong.
We do, yeah. So we've got about 20 different infusions, so we can tailor make them. So there's a huge range of infusion ingredients that we offer. And so we will basically offer that to the client in their home, office or hotel, or we also have clinics available as well.
So you'll literally come to the person at home.
We will.
Wow.
Oh man, we need this. Yeah.
Convenient. Exactly.
That's exceptional. And then that 20 recipes you said, what's the big difference between all of them? How do you kind of work out and decide what you need or want?
So they're all really different ingredients. So they all have their own properties and benefits. So what we'll do from the point of booking in, our team will medically screen you for suitability. You'll then either have a nurse consult over the phone. Once you're all confirmed and booked in, the nurse will attend the booking and do a thorough consultation. She comes equipped with everything so that she can customize a drip for you. Vitamin C, for example, is the best thing to boost your immune system. Magnesium, muscle recovery, B complex, energy levels, mental acuity, the range is really broad.
Holy shit. Yeah, that is a massive spectrum because I think even after I actually reached out and this all started because after I had COVID, I reached out because I was still feeling shit. That's amazing. But I guess for me looking at that, like having the IV bag, like I know a little bit about what it does, but how is having an IV with those vitamins, minerals, even amino acids more beneficial than, say, using supplementation?
So vitamins and supplements are, if you look at the dosage, a vitamin C tablet, for example, is about 250 milligrams. Our
Yep.
starting dose of vitamin C intravenous is 15 grams. So first of all, it's a much
Oh,
higher
wow.
dose. You can actually safely deliver much higher doses intravenously than otherwise wouldn't be tolerated orally. But the
Yeah,
biggest
right.
the biggest difference is it's what we call bioavailable. So when you take anything orally, a supplement or a vitamin, it needs to be broken down in the digestive system for your body to then utilize it. So after that process, you're really only getting about 10% absorption, whereas intravenous vitamins, you get close to 99% absorption.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Because I know I spent a bit of time in the supplement industry just working to subsort, nothing too flash hot, but from memory, the recommended dosage of vitamin C to take orally was about 4 grams because you start to experience, I guess, some bowel disruption after that.
Yeah.
And
So vitamin C
did you say 15 grams?
yes.
Holy shit, you'd feel amazing.
That's only our starting dose. We do
Yeah.
much higher doses for
Oh,
people
wow.
with really impaired immune system. We treat a lot of cancer patients, autoimmune disease. So
Yeah.
a whole range of clients that we tailor that dosage to. But
Yep.
yeah, if you were to take that orally, it wouldn't be a fun time for you, vomiting and all the fun stuff. So
Yeah, possibly gastro coming out the
yeah,
other side,
exactly.
Yep.
which is just, that's insane. And so, so sorry. Do you have one bag that is more, or one mixture that is more popular, say, than the others, or?
I would say, especially with COVID and what we've been through the last couple of years, like the immune boost, our
Mhm.
Myers cocktail, they're probably very popular. Everyone's
Mm.
really trying to keep their immune system in check and keep their body as
Yep.
healthy as possible.
Yep.
NAD, I don't know if you've heard of nicotinamide before. That's a really popular drip of ours. That
What's that
is
do?
so NAD is one of my favorite treatments. It's we call it the miracle molecule. So it basically
Ooh.
helps to repair DNA, create new healthy cells. So it can be used for a number of things: pre-dementia, spinal injuries, addiction. We do a lot of drug and addiction clients, as
Oh,
well
wow.
as your mental focus and your clarity and your energy levels are amazing after it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I was
Sounds
just
like
about
you.
to say the same.
Sounds like you found the cheat code.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
it
there's a
does.
lot of studies on it. I follow a lot of really well-known anti-aging doctors. Dr.
Yep.
Sinclair is a big one. He's a huge advocate for NAD and how
Yep.
it can benefit the body and stopping the cells from aging.
Yeah, right.
Geez, that's pretty
This is
impressive.
amazing.
And something like that, would you see people sort of using this sort of thing on a regular basis, like it's something they're doing every
Mm.
week or month and something, or it's more, they're just feeling a bit beat up and down, so they're like, cool, I should get a little bit of this, and that's going to bring me back to my baseline. What's sort of a normal sort of use of something like this?
Look, it's tailored. Again, we would
Yep.
give a treatment plan depending on what you're wanting to do. If
Yep.
you're fit, healthy, maybe you're just feeling a bit run down, you might do
Yep.
1 or 2 treatments, and then maybe every
Yep.
couple of months, do one for a boost. We
Yep.
do have quite ill patients that we treat that might be having
Mm.
treatments once a week or twice a week.
Yep.
They might be undergoing chemotherapy or
Yeah.
other
Wow.
different scenarios that we're dealing with. So
Yep.
like addiction patients, we have 5 to 10 days in a row of a treatment protocol. So it
Wow.
really varies
Oh,
patient to
shit.
patient.
Yep. Geez, the addiction one
Right.
sounds pretty interesting. Does that help them when they're coming out of, or coming out of and getting off, like addiction and stuff like that, or how does
Yeah,
that
so it
work?
could be, prescription painkillers or whatever
Yep.
they, are struggling to come off. So
Oh,
we
shit.
we try and get them to, come off for as long as possible, and then we'll
Yep.
start the treatment. So not only does it detox the body, but it really helps for them to not feel that need to take it or use it again. So we've had
Yeah.
really
Wow.
great results with that.
That must be pretty.
100%.
I was gonna say that
You
must be
go, sorry.
pretty cool to have some success stories like that. If you have someone who's come to you with some addiction challenges, and through your service you can fix it, help them through that. Must be pretty cool.
It's super rewarding, and that's why me and my team are so motivated to get this everywhere because we get so many testimonials and amazing feedback every single week, and people are so grateful that we can offer
Mm.
this to them and come to their home because some people are too sick to even leave their home. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Fuck.
that'd be the
Yeah,
big
you
one
only,
because I know you're working with people on.
oh, it just cut out there, I
My
think.
gone.
Oh, I can hear you again. But yeah, that must be very rewarding from, like, obviously even from your own story, like obviously you've had such a big drastic change in your own energy and your own level, and like obviously you look very healthy now, and glandular fever can absolutely floor you.
Yeah.
So to see that now in other people must be just absolutely rewarding.
It's so rewarding, and we have people say, they felt so crap for so long that they forgot what it feels like to be able to, wake up and get out of bed without having to rely on coffee, just having
Mm.
normal energy
Yeah.
levels and being able to focus on tasks. So it can really, really help.
So with that, like obviously it works. Like we know it works, and you've got the testimonials. As I said before the podcast started, we're talking about how we've seen it work in like even our small niche.
Yeah.
Why is there so much red tape around it? Why is it so hard? Why isn't it more popular, I guess?
Look, in Australia, we have very strict TGA
Mm.
regulations.
Right. So yep.
We are very, I would say, we're a bit behind in terms of alternative wellness.
Mm.
Hmm.
You only need to look at the states, for example, on what is available there as opposed to what we can get here. We have gone above and beyond to make sure client safety is number one. But of course, it is a medical treatment, and all medical treatments carry risks.
Mm.
But it is
Yeah.
vitamins at the end of the day. So the biggest risk we ever see with clients is bruising at the injection site. To date, we've treated over 40,000 patients nationwide, and we've never had an adverse reaction to date. So
Yep.
we've got
That's amazing.
it is amazing. We've got very strict protocols and dosage protocols, and
Mm.
we make sure we do things very safely.
Yep. Must get a
Absolutely.
bit frustrating though, like seeing what I guess like another country like the US has access to, but there's some roadblocks or red tape or just rules because we are so far behind over here in Australia that you just can't do. Um,
Look, yeah, it's definitely frustrating. I mean, I know from when I first started, the same doctors that weren't too happy about us starting
yep.
are now referring their patients to us. So we've seen a big mentality shift,
Yep.
I guess, towards us.
Yep. So
And that's got to be bloody. Must be proud of that, because obviously this is, from my understanding, there's no other company in Australia like this.
There's not,
Or
no, no.
no.
So when I first started, there was maybe one or two clinics that were stationary clinics. Never really heard of them. I struggled to find any when I came back from the US. Hence why I started this.
Mm.
There's obviously people popping up now, but not on the scale of what we do. And mobile was really the game changer as well.
Mm.
I guess we started mobile at a really good time. We didn't know COVID was going to hit, but
Yeah.
it was the best thing for us because people don't want to go into medical clinics. They want to have it done in the comfort of their own home.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Especially when obviously, as you said, COVID hit, and then everything became much more, I guess, harder to do. But if you're offering that service, people feel a lot safer in their own home.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's such a wicked story.
And do you see like a lot of sports people or benefit for sports people as a part of their recovery
We
um,
do, yeah. So
strategies?
we have worked with multiple strength sports and all sorts of
Yep.
sporting.
Yep.
There is some red tape again with some sporting industries that
Yep.
this isn't
Yeah.
able
That was
to be done for them.
Yeah, that was going to be my follow-up question was how does something like what you guys do work with like WADA or drug testing? Does that anything you're doing there? Because my limited knowledge on it is once something's injected or used with a needle, essentially it needs to be cleared somehow
Yeah,
through the WADA. Is that right?
so it depends again on the industry.
Yep.
Everyone's slightly different.
Yep.
Some are allowed to just have the IV fluids.
Yep.
Some are able to have the vitamins, but it is vitamins at the end of the day. There's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
drugs
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
administered. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah. Geez.
That's got to be painful. Just like, you got this product that is so beneficial, and you just keep coming up to with roadblocks. Like, kudos for getting this off the ground
Mm,
and getting it rolling, because it is something that I personally believe it needs more exposure and needs a more awareness around. Because, and we spoke off air, Johnny and myself, about how we, as in strength sports, could benefit from this. And
absolutely. It's definitely frustrating. There's a roadblock every day that I face,
mm,
but the reason that I push on is because the clients, the feedback,
mm,
the
yeah,
the lives that we're changing. I'm not saying this is a miracle cure, but it can really alleviate a lot of symptoms for a lot of
Mm.
people. So that's kind of my determination to just push through
Mm.
and make it more accessible.
Do you see?
It
I was
makes.
going to say, do you
Sorry,
see?
Johnny, you go.
Hard one, not in the same room, in the same
No,
house.
no.
Do you see a change in shift in thinking between medical people and the roadblocks and stuff, the hoops you need to jump through? Is that becoming less and less from when you first
Yes.
started with all this?
Yes, definitely. As I said, a lot of doctors were very reluctant to
Mm,
even, write consent forms or refer their patients to us.
mm,
But a lot of clients have even done their own research because there is so much studies done
Mm.
online that have been conducted overseas. So clients will push for this to have be done, and they obviously come back to their GPs or their oncologists or their specialists, and
mm,
their doctors are seeing their results. So it's really changed and shifted the mentality. We spend a lot of our time trying to educate the public, via
mm,
our social media or website or studies, trying to educate them on the benefits that it can be very beneficial to a lot of people.
mm.
And can I ask why there was so much resistance when you guys first started? Is it just because people don't know what you do or what it is?
A lot of people just don't know what it was.
Mm,
It
Right.
was almost unheard of, 5 years ago. Now every second person I know have either heard of us or heard of it, which is great.
mm,
So we're really trying to spread the messages out there. So it just takes time. I would say in another
Mm.
5 years, it will be extremely common and everyone will know about it. But
mm.
those things take time with anything. It's even when Botox and filler came about,
Yep,
Yep.
everybody had, something to say about that. But now no one
yep,
even blinks an eye if that's, a treatment that
Mm.
someone's having done. So
yep.
just takes time.
But even like now, Botox, I know because I have a client with I'm going to butcher the name of the syndrome, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So they use Botox now to medically treat her, and it's like almost full circle.
Well, that's the thing. Botox came about because of cerebral palsy. So, um,
Right. There you go.
yeah, people don't realize that. So, yeah, everybody's going to have, an opinion for it or against it, and
Mm.
we're
Mm.
used to it. So,
Now, a couple of other questions about the therapy itself. How long do the actual benefits last? So if I was to say take just your standard say immune boost, how long would those benefits last? And could I use too much?
So again, the benefits varies depending
Hmm.
on what the client is wanting to kind of treat. If their
Yeah.
body is severely deficient in a range of nutrients, then they might need a series of treatments.
Mm.
If it's just a boost for someone like both of you that are generally fit and healthy, maybe you just want to boost your immune system, your energy levels.
Stop it.
It'll last anywhere roughly 1 to 2 months.
Oh wow.
Just
Yep.
again, yeah. So your body will utilize it, and anything that it doesn't need, it will expel. But of
Yep.
course, you can use too much. But we're really, as I said, we've got really strict protocols on dosaging, so we make sure
Yep.
it's very safe for the client.
I just want to give you a quick thank you for assuming that we are very fit. I love that.
Very athletic
I would like.
powerlifters.
Oh yeah. Well, look, athletics are probably not in my definition that
Yep.
I've had for a
Strong,
while.
strong then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you noticed. But going back to something you said before, having those roadblocks, and you've spoken a lot already about this strong purpose behind it. How much easier is it having such that, I guess, personal relationship with this product, this personal connection, because you've had such a good benefit? How much has that helped you every time you come against those roadblocks? I guess my real question is, how important is it to have a strong purpose when facing and starting up a new business?
Oh, you have to have a purpose. I never set out to be, an entrepreneur or start a business. It just kind of
Mm,
came naturally to me. And I think that if I didn't have these health battles myself, I probably would have never done this and never even
Mm.
sought out the treatment. So it's a huge push for me and definitely a purpose. That was, I put my life savings into starting this. So you don't do that on a
yeah,
whim. You
wow,
do that because you're determined and you know that this needs to be everywhere and accessible for everyone.
Mm. You've gone all in.
absolutely. Yeah, and you can just you just listen to you talking and hear how much passion you have for it, and that it's brilliant to see, and definitely something that needs to be brought into more
Mm.
it still mind boggles me that, it's taken me so long to one, find it, and then two, how it's not more popular, especially in sports. Like, it's just
Yeah,
annoying.
yeah. So,
It's a
I
great
mean,
opportunity there.
there is a huge opportunity, and we do work with, certain industries. Muay Thai fighting. We've done a lot of people with that when essentially they obviously do their weigh-in after they've cut,
Yeah, of course.
and that's a really good time to give them a boost. Post recovery is a huge thing for strength sports as well.
Absolutely. Like, I'm literally just thinking here, like, I should order one of these.
I will
I
send
need
you
to get
one
onto.
when we
Mid
finish
prep.
this.
You're the
I'll
best.
organize one for you.
You are the best,
Hell yeah.
because I did train hard, and then I was like, I forgot what it's like to train hard. Now my body hates me.
What I'm,
Exactly.
I'm curious because, like, we talk about Australia sort of being in the past and everywhere else being in the future. What are some of the things that other countries or other places that are allowed to do more than we are, etc. That sort of excites you, that you think that's something you'd champion for or battle to try and get here for yourself, for your
Mm.
product range?
Look, I mean, to give you an example, Saudi Arabia, they administer vitamin C as common practice in hospitals. If
Right.
if we could get, there's so many studies done on how beneficial vitamin C is for infections and immune related issues. There's been documented studies on clients or patients that have had staph infection, even COVID, how quick their recovery is when you do intravenous vitamin C for a
Yep.
number of treatments. Um, so
Right.
I would love to one day see this in hospitals for
Yeah.
the medical board to actually really recognize that it can benefit quite
Yep.
sick patients, would be a huge thing. Even in the States, medical marijuana has been around for a long time there. It's obviously starting to pop up here, but it's not that prominent or well
Mm.
known. There's so many different things.
Do you ever sit back, and excuse my language here, but do you ever just sit back and go, what the fuck are you idiots doing? Like, just to prove this? Like, because I've dabbled in creating supplements before, and TGA is a dick.
They are very difficult to deal with. I'll choose my words carefully.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sure she'll be way more polite than I am.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
that's in,
The red tape
it,
on so many things is just crazy.
because, like, yeah, I mean, you think vitamin C is so beneficial, but to hear in Saudi Arabia, like, they're doing that as like a medical practice, that's,
And it's not a country that
but
you would expect for that to be
yeah,
common practice there. Yeah. So,
but then you kind of also wonder and go, it's almost common sense.
yeah. Yeah.
Like, it borderlines, like, it's so beneficial that it should just be common practice, but it isn't, and unfortunately, that's just the reality of where we're at, I guess.
Exactly.
Yep.
And
Right.
so many people say, oh, there's no studies on it. I mean, you only need to go to our website. We try and post as many, information sources as we can. And there's been
Yeah.
so many studies. I've heard, because I've traveled around Australia and I've worked with different patients and doctors and nurses, and I found, so many people that have sought this treatment overseas. We've got a clinic in Airlie Beach, and they specialize in a lot of cancer diagnosis, terminal cancer patients. And they
Yep.
used to send all their patients to Thailand for 6 weeks just to be able to access this treatment. So
Huh.
I've
Shit.
heard phenomenal stories about the benefits. So you
Yep.
can't deny the results. You just can't.
Yeah.
So
And as you said, like, multiple times, at the end of the day, it's supplements,
Yep.
and oh, sorry, it's vitamins and minerals,
Yeah.
and it's exactly what we need in this day and age. The way
exactly,
we've developed, we've become, my opinion, obviously vitamin deficient, and
we
it's
have.
becoming more and more prominent. So having something like this, that, even as you said, even once every couple of months, or once every quarter of the year or something, like, it
Mm.
could just be that extra thing that, you get out of bed and you feel like you got a spring in your step instead of having to reach for triple shot of coffee.
Exactly. And
Which, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with triple shots of coffee for those listening.
exactly. Yeah. And I guess a lot of, comments or, trolling we get is just eat your fruit and veggies. If that was the case and everyone was eating their fruit and veggies, we wouldn't
Yeah.
have, so many diseases and illnesses. Um,
Literally.
our food is so mass produced these days. We don't even
Yeah.
have the salts or the minerals in our food that we used to.
Mm.
Mm.
We see more and more patients that have gut issues, IBS, leaky. leaky
Mm.
gut, Crohn's, malabsorption. So that,
Yep.
also adds to the benefit, the deficiencies in the body.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't even think of that. Because as Johnny will know, I personally have a few, or have had a few gut issues,
Yeah.
and absorption rates would be down. And I remember reading a study, this is going back some time, but like even the soil quality is not as mineral nutrient dense, so which means
All the fruits and
the
veggies aren't as
vegetables
good.
that we are growing, yep, exactly. So
Exactly. And
it's not as simple anymore, unfortunately.
and things like, it was drilled into us not to put salt on your food. We need
Yep.
salt. Obviously
Yeah.
good salt, but like little
Yep.
things like that, it's, we actually need these salts, minerals, vitamins in our body. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons to it.
Yeah, there's no problem with me salting food here. I can definitely tell you that. It's probably like I flirt with that line of salting too much because I don't know
Just
why.
use
Um,
Himalayan salt.
Salt's tasty.
yes, I got into that for ages. The old Himalayan salt, first thing in the morning for like that actual more what is it? Mineral boost. Sorry.
Good for your muscles too.
Yep. Actually, every time I feel more hydrated. I genuinely do feel better.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a completely different thing, or just on my own thought. But before we start to wrap up, and I know you, we want to get to know you a little bit more.
Sure.
So at the very end,
random
we
questions.
have
Okay.
You're ready.
10. Yep, 10 very random questions. I didn't put it in my
No, you
email to you
didn't. I'm
because
not prepared for this. Okay.
I know
Good.
it's the best because
This is the
we
best
like
bit.
to surprise.
Okay.
Yep.
Go. Hit
They're
me.
the most 10 random questions you'll ever hear.
Okay.
The first thing that comes into your mind. I will also quickly just say that Johnny wrote these questions, not myself.
Okay.
What did you have for dinner last night?
I actually didn't have dinner last night. I know.
What was your last?
I pulled not an all-nighter, but I had a lot of work to do till midnight. I had a big lunch. I'm very big into fasting, so I'm a 1 or 2 meal a day max person. So
Okay, so what was your last meal then?
I would have had a salad from Brio yesterday.
Oh,
Have you eaten yet today?
No, I fast till at least midday every day.
wow.
Oh, hats off to you. I don't.
My energy levels
That's
are
good.
so much better. If I get up and eat in the morning, I'm tired.
Yeah, I will. I will say when when I'm not in prep, I'm like that, and it's quite nice not having to. This is so not the point. Anyways, number 2, what's in the boot of your car?
Oh, a lot of stuff. You don't want to look in the boot of my car.
Oh, now I kind of want to.
Actually, no, I just ordered some stuff online that arrived that's sitting in my boot. I'm converting my garage into a gym, so it's a
Hey, there we go.
I love that.
adjustable bench seat and some bands and things that I've got in the boot.
Lovely.
So, yeah.
I love that.
That's
Well,
excellent.
look, if you ever need help, you now know us, which is even better.
Exactly.
Number 3, when was the last time you changed your bed sheets?
Oh, every week religiously. They'll be due.
Yeah,
Excellent.
100%.
I think 2 days ago.
Excellent.
Good. We just had a guest on who could not remember, and we were like,
Oh
"What the
no,
fuck?"
I'm very
I
OCD
know.
with that.
know. Number 4, what's your middle name?
Jade.
Jade, lovely. Number 5, what was your favorite year and why?
Probably the year where I had no responsibilities and I was traveling.
That does sound lovely.
Maybe 2007, 8,
Right.
2006, probably when I was
Well,
in Europe with no worries in the world.
we'll have to get you back
glory
on for
days.
that podcast just to recap those years.
Exactly.
Number 6, flashback time. What was your first cassette CD you owned?
Probably the Spice Girls, and then
Yes.
I remember pulling the tape out of the Spice Girls when Jerry left. I was so angry.
Oh.
Oh, I love that.
That's the
That was
best.
unreal. Number 7, what's the last dream you had?
I dream every day. I have very vivid dreams. I couldn't tell you. I don't remember what it was.
That's
But
fine. Number 8, what will you do when you retire / will you retire?
I say that I want to retire all the time, but I don't think my brain will allow for that. I am constantly thinking of new business ideas. So I am my own worst enemy. I don't know how to relax. But if I was to retire, I would probably get into property and, flip houses. That's
So
kind of,
not retire?
yeah,
That
probably
doesn't
not.
sound like retiring.
Yeah.
That sounds like another
That,
business.
Yeah.
that literally. Is
Yeah.
there another business in the pipeline that you're working on?
There are a few, yeah.
Sick.
Oh gosh, I know. I can't wait to hear more about that. Number 9. What's your morning routine?
Morning routine is, on a good day, I go to Pilates. On a bad day, I scramble and get to the office on time for my first meeting.
Yep, fair. That's the life, I think, of a self business owner.
Yeah.
And number 10, what do you think of artificial intelligence?
Oh, good question.
I know, right?
I don't know enough about it to be able to give, an
That's fun.
educated response. So I have no idea.
Have you? Bonus question again. After our last guest hadn't seen these movies, have you seen the Terminator movies?
No.
Oh, what?
No.
Oh, what?
How have these people not seen this movie?
Yeah, I'm shook.
My
Got some homework.
concentration levels for watching a movie, I'm the worst person to watch a movie with. I can watch a series because the episodes are shorter, but I'm not I'm not a movie person.
Really?
No, I have the concentration levels of a fly. I'll be doing other things, work on my phone or something.
Okay, well, what series are you watching at the moment then?
I just finished watching the last one of Selling Sunset because, again, I'm obsessed with property. So, Selling Sunset,
Yeah, fair.
I just finished that.
Sick.
Well, if you did want a new series to start, Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix, I can confirm is quite good.
Okay.
It's no, if you ever saw the movie, which you probably hadn't, had McConaughey in it. McConaughey's a dreamboat, so the guy's not at that level of dreamboatness, but it's still a good watch.
Okay, good to know. I'll note that one down.
Yeah. Mate, thank you so much for your time this morning. I can't imagine how busy you are, so to give us your time we're extremely grateful to come on our show. And a lot of our, a lot of guys and strength athletes within the industry, please reach out. And I guess that leads us into exactly how can people get in contact with the company itself, and where can they find yourself?
Yeah, so they can book online at dripiv.com.au, or they can call 1300 dripiv, and we will run you through a consultation and get you booked in.
Sick.
Absolutely, mate. Thank you so much. We'll chuck all those notes and websites the hotline into our show notes when the episode goes out, which will be in a couple of weeks. And yeah, man, thank you so much again.
Thank you, guys.
Sick. Thanks very much for coming
No
on.
worries,
Appreciate it.
Have a lovely day.
You too. Bye.
See ya. Bye bye.